Hi, I'm Avlin and I'm an intern with Lexus and Company, and today I'm going to discuss the topic of judicial review and judicial activism. So we'll be discussing whole about what exactly is judicial review and what are the categories of judicial review. Like, can we divide it into further categories or it is just a single thing? Further, we'll be discussing about what are the limitations on judicial review, and then we'll be discussing about judicial activism. So moving forward to judicial review, India is a nation of independent judiciary which have extensive jurisdiction over legislative and executive actions. So judicial review can be defined as a doctrine in which legislative and executive actions are subject to judicial review. Further, judicial review is considered as a basic structure of Indian judiciary, and this was held in the case of Indira Gandhi versus Raj Narayan. Moving forward, we can divide judicial review in basically three categories. So the first one is judicial review of legislative actions, judicial review of executive administration, and the third one is judicial review of judicial decisions. And with this, the judges are imposed, or they have a duty to maintain the balance while exercising judicial review. They have to maintain the balance of power. Further, they have to protect the rights of the citizens, fundamental rights, their right to life and liberty. So moving forward to our first category, that is judicial review of legislative actions. So judicial review is exercised in the form of a check on the laws made by the legislature, that whether these laws are in accordance with the provisions of the constitution and or especially part 3 of the constitution, that is which deals with the fundamental rights. Further, if in case a question is raised that a statute, a decision has been, or a law has been passed by a statute, and the legislature passing such act has no power to pass, so the court is the one who is going to decide whether the law passed by the legislature is valid or not, and whatever decision is given by the court, it has to be followed by the legislature. So legislature has no power to question or to disobey the law or the order passed by the court. So moving further to the second category, that is the judicial review of administrative action. So what basically is judicial review of administrative action is a constitutional check imposed on the exercise or constitutional discipline imposed on the administration of our country. So basically it is there's a check on the actions taken by executives while performing their duties. So judicial review of judicial actions can be seen in Golaknath's case, Minerva Mills case, and many more. So moving forward, the power of judicial review needs to be controlled, or needs to have some checks on it, and therefore it has to be used with caution, and therefore some limitations have been imposed in the exercise of judicial review. So the exercise of judicial review is permitted only to the extent of finding whether the procedure in reaching the decisions has been correctly followed, but not the decision itself. Further, it is delegated to our superior courts only, that is Supreme Court and High Court, and not to the subordinate courts. But they can also not interfere in the political policies and political matters or question related to them unless absolutely necessary. So law once passed becomes unconstitutional with the passage of time due to the change in the situations. This may create a vacuum in the legal system. Hence, it can be said that the directions given by the court would be binding only till the legislation is enacted. That is, it is of temporary nature. can interpret and invalidate a law, but it cannot itself make a law. However, there are certain cases in which executive has ordered judiciary to review its policies. So the exercise of judicial review in India is actually exercised in a very liberal form, because we don't follow strict principle of separation of powers, and we don't follow the watertight compartments. So therefore there is a space for every part, every pillar of our constitution to enter into the department of other if it's urgent need or necessary. So that what I mean is that legislature can ask judiciary to review, executive can ask judiciary to review, and at the same time, at some time, legislature can even perform the functions of executive, and executive can perform the function of legislature if needed only then. So since we don't have strict watertight compartments, so that is why the judicial review is very liberal and is exercised in our country. So this was all about judicial review, and let's just see what exactly judicial activism is. So judicial activism is basically based on a philosophy of judicial decision making by judges, where they allow their own personal views regarding a public policy instead of constitutionalism. Some cases of activism in India are Golaknath's case, in which Supreme Court held fundamental rights under Part 3 to be immutable and cannot be amended. Next one is Keshavananda Bharati, where Supreme Court introduced doctrine of basic structure, that is the parliament can amend any part of the constitution, not amending the basic structure of the constitution. Further, Supreme Court has acted as a supervisory role in CBI investigation for 2G scam. Further, in invoking terror laws against Hassan Ali Khan. So basically, if we see what is judicial activism, is going out of the certain ambit which has been assigned to the judges by virtue of their posts. So what I'm trying to say here is judges are acting out of the ambit of their office to provide justice to the citizens. So this is what exactly is judicial activism, but at the same time it has been criticized as well. So firstly, it is criticized on the basis that in the name of judicial activism, judiciary basically writes its own opinions, own personal opinions. Secondly, the theory of separation of power is overthrown. And however, its importance lies with the position accorded to the institution as a place of hope for a grieved person. There is only a thin separation between judicial activism and judicial review. So where judicial review concerns with more of the whether the law is in accordance with the constitution or not. At the same time, on the other hand, the judicial activism is basically the behavioral aspect of a judge. So it is basically based on public interest and speedy disposal of cases. With the power of judicial review, the courts basically act as a custodial guardian of fundamental rights. Thus, the judicial review is recognized as the part of the basic structure of the constitution. The active role of judiciary is implicit in the said power. On the other hand, judicial activism, keeping in view the ideal democracy, is in fact necessary to ensure that unheard voices are not buried by more influential and vocal voices. So this was all about judicial review and judicial activism. Thank you so much.